Hi everyone, welcome back to Sashay with Barry. I am here and I'm going to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race Season 11, Episode 12, Queens Everywhere. I got my giant martini glass again. It has come in handy. You'll notice that it is a very dark liquid that I'm drinking. That is because I'm drinking Jack and Diet Coke tonight, and it's delicious. So grab a drink and drink along with me. We're going to talk about this episode. As most of you know, I just returned from LA. I went to the season finale taping, so I knew who was eliminated this week. So this week was kind of a dull episode for me because I knew what was going to happen. I don't like spoilers, so I stay away from them, but this one was unavoidable because I went to the taping and I knew that there were only 4 queens competing. They told us right at the beginning, and so that was that. But the episode to me was not that eventful because of that. Sorry, this is sliding down my face. There we go. Now you can see me. I taped a little recap of the finale taping right afterwards. It was like 1 a.m. in LA, which is like 4 a.m. New York time, so my mind was a little loopy. I watched it on the way back on the plane, and it is a mess. I am not going to publish it. I was yawning through the whole thing. I started sneezing through the whole thing, through the parts of it. I coughed during a part of it. And at one point, my eyelashes got so annoying that I just took them off in the middle of it. So it was just a crazy, crazy mess. So I'm not going to post that. I'm going to reshoot it, and I will post it the night of the finale, and that will be in 2 weeks, we found out tonight. So I will post it that. I'm going to actually start uploading it while the show is going, so it should be up and ready to go as soon as the show is over. So you can check it out then. And if you're on the West Coast, you might get it before the show airs. But it won't have any, it'll have some spoilers in it, but not the winner, because they do multiple crownings at the taping, so no one really knows who's going to win until the actual show airs. So that's a good thing. What I'm going to talk about right now is this episode, but first I'm going to talk about a commercial that happened. There were actually 2 commercials I'm going to talk about. I have the other one in my notes, but I'm going to do it right now. This first one happened towards the beginning. If you were in New York City, at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden, there is going to be a Haters Raw, I think was the name of it. It is July 28th at 8:30. Tickets go on sale on Friday, which by the time you watch this, it will be Friday, so they will be on sale. And you can get them at dragfans.com, and it is going to include Alaska, Jinx, Willem, Ben de la Creme, Latrice Royale, I didn't give these people last names, Thorgy Thor, Shea Coulee, Darian Lake, Mimi, I'm First, I didn't know she was still doing things, and the one and only Lady Bunny. So it could be a really good show. I've never been to a Haters Roast, so who knows, maybe I'll go to this one. It's at the Hulu's Theater at Madison Square Garden, New York City, July 28th at 8:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale by the time you watch this now at dragfans.com. So go get your tickets. The other commercial I want to talk about happened late in the episode, and if you're not in New York City, I'm just wondering if you get this commercial. Because I don't know what airs in other parts of the country. And it is a commercial for Nasty Pig. So if you are not in New York City and you saw the Nasty Pig commercial, please just write it in the comments below. I'm just curious to see if it actually airs other places than New York. The Nasty Pig store is literally 3 blocks up from my apartment. And some of the boys in the commercial I see around town all the time. So it was kind of interesting. I'm just wondering if anyone else gets it around the country. I'm going to move that for a moment. So let's get into this episode. Those queens were all reading Miss Silky at the beginning for that lip sync. They were reading her to her face. They were reading her in confessionals. And I was living for it because that lip sync was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And she sent home Nina West, who I felt was a better queen than her and should have stayed longer than her, but I do not write the narrative. The producers do, and that is why we are stuck with Silky, Nutmeg, Ganache this week. She started talking about that she never forgave Evie, and that she decided that she does want to get to know her after the show, but not until after the show. And then Silky walked away on a fucking broken heel and said that she performed like that. Because I think in the lip sync, she stumbled on that sash that fell off of her. I think she called it a belt. But it was falling down the whole time, and then it fell off and she kind of stumbled on it. I think she probably broke her heel at that point. And she was a mess. A big mess. But Michelle comes into the workroom, not Rue this time, and tells them that they are going to be a part of Rue's new song, Queens Everywhere. Great. She tells them that they will have to write and record a solo verse. And they're going to have to learn choreography from Todrick Hall. It is going to be the most ambitious choreography that they have ever learned. I don't know if that means ever learned on this show or if that ever learned in their lives. It didn't seem all that hard from what we saw, which the finished product was. But Todrick Hall is going to be there. And they all get to be a guest on RuPaul's What's the Tea podcast with Michelle Visage. Sponsored by Facetune 2. Great. Get those sponsors in there, Ru. You gotta make your coins. I don't know why they do these little podcast things every time, but they never air them. I listened to RuPaul's What's the Tea, and I've never heard one of them on there, and I don't know why, because it would really be interesting content, I think. I think people would love it. And maybe more people would listen to Rue's podcast. Once Michelle goes away, they all start working on their raps. She did not say that it was a rap, and maybe they just didn't include that in there, but they all know that they have to do a rap. That's weird. I mean, why couldn't they just sing a verse? Oh, maybe because none of them can really sing. That could be part of it. Who knows? But they're making raps. Akira realized that she wrote 2 pages and was only supposed to write 8 bars, but she doesn't know how much 8 bars is, so she said they will edit her out. Evie's is going to be bragging, because that's what she thinks rap is all about bragging. Vanjie says that she raps every day, so this is going to be easy for her. Silky has never rapped before, and she is wearing that giant red wig that I'm assuming is the one that Ariel Versace left for her because she loved it so much. It was atrocious on her head. And Brooke's rap is going to be about Canada, because the song is Queens Everywhere, so she wants to represent her Canadian people. We go right into recording the raps with Todrick Hall and some cute engineer. I don't know who he was. If you do, write it down there. I'm sure it was posted, I just didn't catch it. I didn't understand a word that Vanjie was saying, and I'm not sure some of them were actually words. And then she started doing it wasn't rakatiki-ta-ta, but it was something like that. I guess she figured it worked for her. BB, why not her? That they weren't words. She was just rattling things off. It was super fast. And I didn't pick up a lot of her lyrics. Evie did great. Todrick loved her and said she did everything right. He liked her lyrics. He gave her some advice on how to present them. She immediately took on to it. And it was great. She did good. Brooke named herself Feminine, like Eminem, but Feminine. It was fine. Her recording was fine. Nina wasn't there to help her, so maybe it could have been better if she was, but it wasn't anything special. Silky, I couldn't understand what she was saying, and I'm glad that Todrick said that too, because I was like, and she was delivering it really, really well. But yeah, I couldn't understand a word she said. And Akira started off really rough, and then at one point she rolled her eyes at Todrick. I don't know if he saw it. I saw it. And this is just, one of those misdirects that the show always does. Ooh, Kyria is bad. She's gonna do bad. She's gonna do bad. But we know she didn't. And then during all of this, it was kind of going back and forth between the recordings of the songs and the podcast. Kyria was the first one on the podcast, and we found out that she is raising her brother's 2-year-old child. I don't know why we haven't heard about this before, because this is kind of amazing, and good for her. Her brother got in some kind of trouble with the law. If no one took in the child, it was going to go into the foster care system, and they didn't know if they would ever get it back. So she adopted this child, and that, to me, is fantastic, and made me like you even more. That's why I wish I would have heard about it earlier. I don't know if all the other girls knew either, but it came out on this one. Blah, 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 blah. The child does not know Kyria, only knows, what's her boy name? Gregory. And so at some point he will find out, and she said right now is not the time for that because it's probably weird for him. He doesn't know what he's going through right now. So just throw that in there and it would just confuse him even more. And then they're going to take a selfie because this is sponsored by Facetune 2. Like, I still have my nails on. They don't match my dress today, but they did match my outfit on Monday. Next was Silky. She tells us that she has a master's in organizational leadership. I don't know what that means. I guess she wants to run her own organization. I don't know. I didn't know that was a real thing. But that's what she got. She said that there are a lot of girls that haven't liked her from the beginning because she was loud and obnoxious. And she still wants a cooking show. And only the girls who are nice to her are allowed to come on it. That's what she said. I'm not gonna watch this show if it ever does happen. But great. It'll probably be a World of Wonder show on the internet. And then if she gets really lucky, Logo will pick it up. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. Evie is next. Michelle asked her what her nationality is. She's like, I'm a little black, a little white, and a little native. I don't know what that means. When you see the reunion, you'll see her parents, and I'm pretty sure they were both black. Unless that's her stepdad. I mean, the two that were there were not together anymore, and that's part of her little narrative. So I don't know where the white comes in, but I thought she might have been of mixed race because she's very light skinned. But that doesn't matter. Who cares? She says that she needs to wipe away the voices who are not here for her and just remember why she's there. And they asked her about the queens last week that picked her to go home. And she's like, she respects the ones that said that it was based on the critiques, but the ones that were just not nice and personal, she was hurt by. And we all know that was Silky saying that Evie's not a nice person. Keep drinking. And I mean, it's just mean. It's not a good look for Silky to do that, but Evie's gonna rise above it. That's all there is to it. Brooke comes in and they immediately ask about Vanjie, blah, blah, blah. I'm so over the Brangie. I was over it weeks ago. We find out that Brooke has never had a real boyfriend before, which is interesting. Or she's hadn't been in a real relationship, she said, in the past. But she has had other relations with queens. She's a whore, basically. Last up is Vanjie. She used to work at a makeup counter in Tampa, Florida. She is originally from Puerto Rico, but she sounds like a New Yorker because her mom was from New York. They asked her about Brooklyn as well, and she says it went from a Kiki to a Kai Kai and all the Ks. So I'm thinking that means they've had the sex. I don't know when they've had it. I don't know where they had it, but apparently they have. And she wanted everyone to see that, I wrote it down and I can't even read it. She wanted to be well-roundedly. That's not a word, but I appreciate it because I knew what she meant. She wanted to be well-rounded, but she said well-roundedly. Whatever. Time to learn some choreography with Todrick Hall. Akiria once again tells us that she's not a dancer. And then when she's actually working with Todrick, she says in confessional, she's like, I don't want to be called out on camera. I'm trying my best. You see that I'm trying. Why you got to call me out in front of the camera? That's his job, and that's what he's getting paid for. And it's TV, and so of course they're gonna put that on there. That's what they want. Banji, all he said to Banji was that she needed to keep her face committed to it. The moves were fine, but that she needed her face. Brooklyn, we found out, is not a hip hop dancer. She is a ballet dancer and can't do hip hop dancing. I said hip hop dancing. Evie was good, but needs to be sharper because she's like one of those floating car salesman things. Yeah. So she just needs to be sharper. Silky, he said to be more precise and clean, kind of the same thing that Evie. Silky is a messy dancer. We saw it last week on her lip sync, where we saw it again this week. And Akira was just lost. She couldn't remember the choreography, and she got way in her head. Again, this is just that misdirect that they want us to think that Akira is going home. And that is not what happens. Then we find out that they get a set. It is a club scene, and they get one camera take to shoot this. And that's all they get. Back in the workroom, Silky tried to clean up her character on the show. She's like, this is my last chance to make people think that I'm a nice person, and so I'm gonna do it. I don't buy it. Evie thanked everyone for accepting her drag and accepting her even though she can be harsh. Silky showed us her hair, and she had all these knots in it, and it looked so terrible. Someone asked about the best moments on the show, and everyone started talking about when they were winning. Evie liked the nature farm to runway. She loved what she'd done for that. Silky said Oprah was her best moment. Who else is there? Akiria said the improv challenge when she was the twerker. Brooke asked the question, so I don't think she answered it. And then Banji got all testy, but not in the room, in the confessional, about why they gotta talk about this, just because Banji hasn't won anything. Banji has now been on 2 seasons and has never won a challenge. She won a mini challenge, but never a real challenge. And that's kind of sad. So that was that. Rue came out in this purple Little Bo Peep dress. I am staring at it right now. I do not like it. I was hoping it would grow on me. I don't. It's like organza explosion. Her hair and face look good, but this dress is it's terrible. It might be one of my least favorite dresses that Rue's ever worn. She tells us it's just family tonight, so we got Michelle, Ross, Carson, who hasn't been there the entire season, and Todrick. Carson tells us that he's been watching. I don't know what he's been watching on, because we know this doesn't air live, so he must have watched some tape somewhere. I don't know. I think it's a lie, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Enjoy these snapshots from the Queen's Everywhere performance, and I'll be right back to talk about it. All right, I'm back. That I don't know what to say about that. Just wow, that was I don't know what it was. It was so crazy. I can't even say. Akiri was good. I thought her rap was too fast and I couldn't really understand her, but she improved drastically. Like we thought, I knew she would because of the redirect. That or the not the redirect, the misdirect that we got from her being bad with Todrick. So she was good. I mean, she looked really good. She moved fine. Again, the rap I thought was too fast. Brooke was bad. It was the dancing didn't make sense to what she was doing. The rap could have been super funny, but she doesn't know how to deliver funny because she's not a comedian. So I didn't like it. It wasn't great. She wore another strappy outfit. I think it said Heights all over it. I think I don't think it said Brooklyn. I think it just said Heights all over it. But it's another one of those band unitard things that she has been wearing most of the season. So that was fine. Who was next? Oh, Silky. Silky had the shortest verse. I don't know if she just didn't write any more than that, but it was literally the 8 bars that the assignment said to do. And she flopped on the ground and they all had to help pick her up, which I thought was really funny. And then, did I miss someone? No, then we go to Vanjie. Vanjie's wearing a bathing suit, and it was not a pretty one. It was kind of ugly. And hers it wasn't bad. It was just like low energy. Hi. I was waiting for that to happen, everyone. I was trying to hide the door. You can see I'm sitting in the kitchen now. But that's that. I'm not even going to hang it back up. In fact, I'm just going to pull the whole thing down. Hooray! And I'm going to pull my dress down because it just rode up on me. Yeah, so that was that. It was just low energy for me. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was just there. And lastly was Evie. To me, she did everything right. Her rap was good. Her performance was good. Her dancers were hot, which always helps. But yeah, she like controlled the stage. She did this crazy backbend sliding across the table, which was amazing, and then into a walkover. We know she can do those tricks, and she did them well. So kudos to Evie. She slayed this challenge. It was the only one that I really, really, really liked. But that's that. Our runway look is best drag. Take a look. I'm back. That was our runway. Did you enjoy those photos? I am wearing not my best drag, but it's a dress I pulled out of the closet. It's a new dress that I got, so I haven't ever worn it before. And you saw the pictures of it, the full thing of it. I even put on heels. So I did the assignment. It's not the best drag, but it's cute. I actually really like this dress. I'm a huge fan of purple. So that's the way it is. But let's talk about these queens on the runway. Sorry, I have to fix my legs. Brooke came out as a ballerina. Do I think this is best drag? No. Do I think it's cute? Totally. It's fine. It looks expensive. It actually does look expensive. She did the whole thing on point. I actually love her crown. I love that she's going for Swan Lake. Again, would I say best drag? No. I mean, would I say this is best drag? No. But I'm not on television. I'm on your computer screen or your phone. And I'm just talking about the show, and I don't want to be on Drag Race. If they want to give me $100,000, just give it to me. I'm gonna toot it just because it's good, but I don't think it's best drag.
Yes, girl!
Next is Silky Nutmeg Ganache. It's a pageant gown. It's the best pageant gown she's worn on the show. It's hitting the floor correctly. But the biggest distraction for me on this dress, not on this dress, on this look, is that she is wearing that fucking hair that Akira has worn 3 times already. And she just put it on her head. It is Akira's wig. She's wearing it. And didn't she just tell us last week that she don't get no help from anyone? She's wearing someone else's hair. I'm gonna toot it because the look is gorgeous. I mean, she looks great, but
Yes!
girl. Next up is Vanjie. She is in this green gown. They kept saying green to me. It looks blue, but I think it's just the lighting. Vanjie said it was green, so I'm gonna assume it's green. I think her earrings are way too big. They are big pageant earrings, and I don't like them with this dress. The dress is fine. It's boring to me. There's nothing special about it. I like her hair and her makeup, but the dress to me is a boot. It didn't want to give you shade for it, but I'm giving it anyway. Yeah, the dress is just boring. There's nothing special about it. Evie Oddly came out with 3 eyes, 3 boobs, and gloves that made her have 3 fingers on each hand. It is so weird and so gorgeous. I think Ross said that this was the perfect mix of weird and elegance, and it really is. She looks stunning in this outfit. My top toot of the week is for Edie.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
That's right, yes. I can't say anything bad about it. It looks so good. It looks expensive for her. I mean, she's a garbage queen, and this looks really, really expensive. So, way to go, Evie. Last up is Miss Akira C. Davenport. She's not wearing the same wig that Silky's wearing, so that's a good thing. This outfit it's beautiful. I mean, I'm not gonna boot it. Again, I find it a little boring. The embellishments on it are what make it special. I love the bottom of it, how it moved. It's pageant, it's her. I'm not a big fan of her makeup on this look, especially her eyes, but she gets a 2.
Yes!
And that is the runway. I have to fix this because it's sliding down since I started looking down. That is that. And then we get our little segment where they talk to their younger selves, and we get to hear all their boy names. Akira talks to Gregory, and says that it's not going to be easy growing up, but just continue to love yourself. Great. Those are great words. Brooklyn, whose name is Brock, we've heard that before, says you're going to feel wrong being who you are, but you're perfect just the way you are. That's very sweet. You can tell that these girls are pageant girls because they are given those answers like pageant queens. Silky, aka Reggie, said, "You knew who you were at 6. Why did you hide it? Let the world see your truth and be..." She went on forever with this. It went on forever and ever and ever, but it was basically live your true life, and that's the reason everyone should do that. Vanjie, aka Jose, said, "You're gonna grow up feeling misunderstood being the princess of the house." I love that she was the princess of the house. But get yourself ready and be prepared because big things are coming. And Evie, aka Javon, we haven't heard her name before, I don't believe, said it's not a personal attack to be called weird. Use that to your advantage and don't build up walls because they are harder to tear down as you get older. All great advice. Way to go, ladies. You all won the pageant for those. This is when the Nasty Pig commercial happened. So if you were watching it, this is when it happened. There is no winner this week. We just find out who gets to be in the top 3 and the bottom 2. Evie, Akira, and Silky are all moving on and don't have to lip sync. Silky is lucky she didn't have to lip sync. She did fine in the challenge, but because she probably would have gone home after seeing her lip sync last week. So that leaves us with Brooke and Vanjie. Yes, our beloved Brangie are going to be lip syncing against each other. I predicted this weeks ago, and I predicted that it would be to get in the top 4. And look what happened. I am a producer on this show. They are doing Pride, A Deeper Love. I didn't write down who sings it. I should know that anyway, and I just didn't. I'm sorry. Vanjie ripped off her skirt so she can dance, and she has a little bodysuit on. Brooke did the whole thing on point, as expected in her ballet slippers. Brooklyn did a split. Vanjie did a death drop. And we find out at the end that Brooklyn gets to move on. This is no surprise to anyone. Vanjie is going home. And we all saw it coming. Or at least I did. Maybe you didn't. I never thought she was going to be top 4. I knew she was going to make it pretty far, but I thought she could have gone home a few weeks ago as well. Oh well. So then they make out on the runway a little bit to say goodbye. And Vanjie wouldn't get off the stage. She just kept coming back and back and back and back, and it was done. And now all you super fans get to vote on your favorite team. Are you team... I was going to say Team Vanjie, but she's gone. You can still vote Team Vanjie. Let's see if that works. Vote Team Vanjie. You get to vote Team Brooke, Team Akira. I don't know if it was Team Brooklyn or Brooklyn. Brooke. I don't know. Team Brooklyn, let's say that, because her name is Brooklyn. Team Brooklyn, Team Akira, Team Silky, or Team Evie. I know whose team I'm on, but I also know who the top 2 are, so I'm not going to say anything. But my opinion would not have changed, not knowing who the top 2 were. We have, I just wrote down a few things from Untucked, because I don't like to really talk about it because I don't find it all that interesting this season. Silky and Evie are going to be friends now. Great. I've heard that people have seen them out having lunch together, so apparently they are. Great. I'm happy for that. I kind of thought that their fighting was a little made up for the show. Maybe I was right. Maybe I was wrong. Who knows? I love that Vanjie brought her losing outfit and said that she's going to auction it off on eBay to the highest bidder. If you want that piece of crap flower thing she wore last season that she went home on, go bid on it, take a picture, and send it to me. I will post it everywhere for you. Post it on Instagram and tag me in it, and I will share it with the world because I think it's funny. I don't want it, but I would love for someone to get it. I think it's funny. I think it's a great idea. Way to go, Vanjie. You did a great job. We have the reunion next week, which is going to be a good reunion, I think. I don't know when they actually taped this. I'm hoping they taped it before they taped the reunion, because they've done them in reverse order before. I think it was season 9. I know it was season 9. They recorded the reunion the day after the finale. And this was the first time they did the lip sync, so two of the queens knew that they weren't in contention for the crown anymore, but they had to pretend kind of that they were, and they were so angry looking on the panel that I was like, what is wrong with them? And then you find out next week that they didn't make it through. So I hope they recorded the reunion before they recorded this, the finale taping, and I think they did. I think they did it the day before. I hope so. I hope they didn't do it afterwards. But it's going to air next Thursday, or this coming Thursday by the time you watch this. And then we will have our finale in 2 weeks. I'm very excited for it. I had a really, really good time at the taping. We are in for some treats on the runway. You are going to see Michelle Visage without her big boobs because she had them removed for health reasons. There's a little montage about her boobs on there. That's not spoiling anything. You're going to see it. But yeah, I think she said she's an A cup now, which is a huge... Oh no, I think she said she's a B cup. I'm trying to remember. She didn't say it at the thing. She said it on one of the What's the Teas. But she wasn't A cup before she got implants. But I think she said she would be going down to a B cup because, your boobs grow and they stretch. Especially when you have 5,000 silicone boobs put in to make yourself look enormous. Sorry, I don't know that that's true. I think she had 3 sets of them in her boobs to be as big as she possibly could. That's all I have for tonight, everyone. Don't forget to follow me on the Instagram at TheRealBarryBrown. TheRealBarryBrown. We do our fun polls. Oh, I didn't talk about last week's poll. Hold the thought, because I don't know if I have it on here. I may have to stick it in somewhere. And I'll stick it in right here. If I have it here, I do not. Hold that thought. It's gonna be added in right here, so you'll hear the results. Get ready. Here they are. All right, here are the results of last week's poll. Sorry I missed them. I didn't do them before, but here they are. I'm going to go through everyone because I have them all right here. Evie Oddly and Scarlet Envy got 66% toot. I think that's low, but I don't make people take my opinion. I think it's low. I really liked these outfits, but it was 66% toot, 34% boot. Nina West and Sugar Cane were 33% toot and 67% boot. That's sad, but they weren't good outfits. Curiosity Davenport and Honey Davenport got 86% toots and 14% boots. I like these, I just found them boring. They looked too simple for me. Our biggest loser of the week was Silky Nutmeg Ganache and Soju with just 17% toots and 83% boots. They should have had 100% boot because this was terrible. But the people that voted for them, I know they're just people that like them, that like Silky, so I can't do nothing about that. Vanessa Vanjie Mateo and Ariel Versace got 92% toot and 8% boot. Well deserved. They looked fantastic and probably should have won last week. And finally, Brooklyn Heights Plastique Tiara got 94% toots and 6% boots. So they were the top toot of the week. I want to thank you all for voting on my look. I know it wasn't a makeover look, but no one was here to make me over. And shame on the ones that booted for me. This is the first week I did not have 100% toots. In fact, 5 people booted me. I only had 82% toot and 18% boot. So fuck you all. I know who you are. I'm not going to call you out because you did it just so that I would put you on the web show, and I'm not. Sorry. Get your lives. Those are all the looks from last week and how they ranked. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. Bye. No, don't say bye. I didn't. Why I said bye. There's still more to come after that. So keep watching. But we will have another poll of this week's looks coming up. I am going to post that. I'm going to do that Saturday morning. So you'll have from Saturday morning Eastern Standard Time until Sunday morning Eastern Standard Time to cast your vote for Toots and Boots for this week's runway looks. And then they will be revealed next week. Again, I forgot to do it this week. I have them on my phone. I just can't look at it right now because I'm recording on it. So I will plop them in right after this. There'll be a little segment about it. It'll be very quick. Don't worry. Nothing was bad. Yeah, I can't. If I knew who it was, I would just tell you, but I can't remember. I think Brooke was the top, but I'm not sure. Just watch and see. That's it. Sorry. That was follow me on Instagram. Go to my Facebook page, which is RuPaul's Drag Race Sashay Away with Barry. There's tons of stuff that I post there. I'm going to be posting right after this the actual video of what we just watched, the Queens Everywhere segment. I saw that it had already been posted. It popped up on my screen. So I'm going to share that on there so you can go watch it there if you haven't seen it yet. And I hope you're subscribed. If you haven't, subscribe now. Share this with all your friends. Comment below. Don't forget to tell me if you saw the Nasty Pig commercial. And that's all I got for today. I love you all. Have a great day. And I will see you next week. Bye. Let's finish our drinks. Done. Bye, everyone.